Welcome everyone. This is the Ayer Conservation Commission meeting. This is Thursday, July 8th, 2021. This meeting/hearing of the Ayer Conservation Commission will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting/hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt a virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for person versus virtual attendance accordingly. Zoom information for this meeting can be obtained by contacting Joanne Christoph, Conservation Administrator, at concom@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 143, or Cindy Knox, IT Director, at cknox@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 150. This meeting will be recorded and air on Channel 8 and airpublicaccess.org the following day. We have commissioners in attendance this evening are Jeremiah, member. We have George Bacon, member. Ms. Jess Eugenio, clerk, member. Mr. Mark Phillips as vice chair, and myself, John Schmallenberger, as chair. And we have our Conservation Administrator, Joanne Christoph. Before I get going, anyone who wants to participate remotely and participate in any discussion, please let us know. Do we have a confirmation of agenda?
The agenda items are all correct. We're going to take one out of order at least, because Jeff is here with us earlier than he thought he might be. So
okay. Well, we'll just get through this opening stuff, and then we can take Jeff.
Yeah.
First thing.
Great.
Easy.
You're easy. We're easy too. So, motion to accept the agenda as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we'll do. We'll have to do a roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Say
Aye.
aye. Opposed? Nay. Okay. Approved unanimously. Approval of meeting minutes of June 24th. Everyone read the minutes. Have any comments or suggestions?
Oh,
Corrections?
I have to correct them,
What do you do?
correct a bunch. I have it still on 2020.
2020. Yeah, that's all right. I did see that. Now, anything else? Motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 24th as amended.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. Payables report.
We do have a payables report this time. It's MACC dues paying time, so we sent them off a check for $413, which covers the commissioner's dues, my dues, our associate members' dues. Hopefully we'll see him again sometime. But the invoice is really complicated, and I'm not up to snuff clearly. I missed the part where we had to add in $15 a head for anybody who wanted electronic access to the MACC handbook. So I definitely do. I use it all the time, and I can't get into it now because our membership has lapsed. So anybody else dying to have, it's $15 a head.
It's probably $15 well spent, right?
Well, for me, it certainly is.
Yeah.
Everybody want it?
Okay.
So that'll be next time?
Yes, I will have to call them and ask them how to get a separate bill for that.
When we get our new membership, do they send us new codes for the MACC site?
I don't think so. I think
Well,
it's,
Then, because when I tried to get in the other day, it said mine had expired, so I should contact my administrator.
yeah,
Mine's expired.
right. And yet our invoice was dated July 1st. I don't know. We'll fix it. We'll get electronic access.
When's the last time you were in?
Hmm?
When's the last time you were in, tried to log in?
It's been a while, but I was looking up something to see if they had anything on fertilizers, and it said I couldn't. And then I wasn't sure if it was because their thing expired, or if it was because I missed the time period where you sign in at the beginning.
Right.
of the
Yeah,
year.
that's what I'm wondering, like,
Yeah,
is it a refresh thing?
yeah.
I know when I went back to work the other day, I couldn't log in because I've been gone for so long.
It must have felt welcoming.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah. IT was not helping, so.
So we have to make a motion to pass this?
No.
Not really?
No, because Robert approves our
It's done.
invoices on our behalf. and
Okay.
So this is just informational.
I was gonna say, just so the quick question, is that the report that was in the, no, that's a different, so the report that was in the packet,
Should be this. Was it Excel?
it had like solitude payment and, was I looking at the right packet?
Yes, for the record, I still can't open up Excel. I have to
I
have.
can't either.
Yeah, okay.
That's, I had the solitude and like four
Yeah,
things
yeah,
totally.
your
So
mileage.
that must have been a
For
different,
December 20.
right,
So just an old one.
Okay.
just an old one.
Yeah, I just, that's why I wasn't sure, because I'm looking at, like, through the paper and I'm like, it doesn't look like what I looked
Yeah,
at.
no, this is what you should have gotten, just MACC $413.
Okay.
The problem with getting ready for a meeting in a week that doesn't have a Monday results in all kinds of little things like this, because I'm trying to do it and there's not enough time, and so I make mistakes.
Moving on to a different subject, though, have you been in contact with our associate member?
I haven't recently.
I saw him on the street.
Okay. Do we know if he still wants to be involved? Because why should we pay for it if he's not really going to be?
Well, so the $15 for the electronic handbook, he might not want that. The dues for members is calculated on the average, what am I trying to say? There's an economic factor, like the economics of the town drive the cost of membership in MACC.
Really?
Per
Yeah.
person or for all
For,
the Concom?
for the whole CONCON,
Okay.
except for staff and associate members.
That's a little odd.
That's interesting. We should move on
Yep.
All right,
Anything
so
else with?
we're paying our bills.
All right.
It's a new budget, we're in a new budget cycle, we can pay lots of bills.
Okay. Then we will have our first item this evening as a discussion, Sandy Pond Beach aquatic vegetation encroachment into swimming area. Mr. Jeff Thomas, would you like to join us, please?
I would, thank you.
You can enter and sign in, please.
Will do so.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You have concerns about vegetation going in the swimming area specifically, or?
Yes, pictured behind you, there is a photo that I believe Joanne took.
I did, and so Chuck had this working, John, so you could see it in front of you, but now it's not.
It was just
Right,
until a minute
and now
ago.
it's not, so.
And Joanne, could you identify what that is?
This is cattails.
Is it?
Yep, this is cattails.
I never see them grow to their normal maturity, that's funny.
Right, because you've packed up the beach by then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
This little lily pad here is one with the slimy stuff on the back. It's called Water Shield.
okay.
So this is the left-hand side of the swimming area as you're looking from the beach into the middle of Sandy Pond. And this is the right-hand side. So this is different. This is one of the rushes. And then there's a whole bunch of that Water Shield lily pad here.
Right. So, if I may, what our concern is the encroachment of these aquatic weeds over time. They've gone into where we have traditionally set up our lines for our swim area. And we've done this, it's been kind of an ongoing practice every 10 years or so that we would go in, and this is my third time coming before the Conservation Commission to ask permission to pull the weeds. And I believe that is the proper procedure to go through, because my understanding is if you don't do it the right way, then you can actually cause even more of a problem, because that just stirs things up. And that's where propellers, really do a number on these things. So we do want to do it the right way and make sure we're doing exactly what you guys want us to be doing. But we would like permission, if we can, to either pull the weeds or ask for another solution if you have something else in mind that you would like us to do. But we've actually let it go for a couple of years. We didn't open the beach for swimming last year, so that kind of gave us not just an extra year of them to grow, but without a lot of activity, that really made it accelerate past the lines where we normally would have it. So that's what we're looking to do, is to just clear up to the lines where we have it by hand pulling. What my proposal would be is to do so with volunteers under my supervision and lifeguards, where I can explain to them why it's important to, when we pull each individual plant, it has to be removed fully, where we will then dispose of it away from the water area. So that's what we're looking to do. The last time we did it was kind of fun. I think it was 12 years ago, but the Conservation Commission at the time was actually so enthused, they wanted to do like a little party. So we all went down. We had a very fun group. I had a court order of volunteers, and it was just a fun mix of people. So it was really good. But anyway, I don't know if we can get to that level this time, but that's what we're hoping to do. So that's what I'm asking the commission.
And you were successful pulling out cattails just by
Yes.
pulling up on them?
Yes, we would use a shovel to get just underneath to get enough of the root ball to come up,
Yep.
and then pull from there.
Okay.
But most of our weeds that we were pulling was, what do you call it?
Those tall, skinny.
Right.
It's a
This is the
rush.
first time that I really recall having this to be as much of an issue. But these are very close to the shore. So again, I don't recall these ever being a problem coming into the water across the line before. I think it was because we had more activity at the time, so that activity never allowed them to root like that.
Right,
So I
and there's
think
not
that's where it's
very
coming
many
from.
of them. This is, if that's a dozen cattail plants,
And on the other picture, what side of the line, I guess I'm not,
Yeah,
I can't
it's
picture
hard,
between
you're right.
So
It is a very
this is-
difficult angle.
this is the
line
the
from
line
the
of
shore.
buoys
Right.
comes
Okay.
to here.
Yeah, and it looks like that's a lot. It's less than 10 feet. It's not that much.
Yeah.
It seems like it's more than it is on the picture.
Yeah, it isn't
All
really very.
all
Yeah.
this area,
Right.
Basically.
whatever that stuff is, it's all that low.
Yeah, and I don't know I couldn't tell really
Yeah, a
what
lot of those
this-
are natural grasses that are and weeds growing in front of the shore.
Yeah,
Is that beach area that you would use? Is that the idea there?
Exactly. That we'd like to have all the line area available to swimmers.
Yep.
Because that's, if you think about it from a lifeguard's perspective, that's how they know to keep track of people by the lines.
And it's
Plus if-
not very big beach to begin with, so.
Yeah. Plus, even if it wasn't an area that they used right now, as it expanded, it would be pressuring, so,
Yeah.
More difficult, so,
yeah.
makes sense.
And are you looking to do this sooner than later?
Yes, I'd hoped to actually have done it already, but obviously we had to wait until we could get on the agenda for asking permission to do so. It's enough along in the season that, you know, if we didn't have to do anything with it, it wouldn't be the worst thing, and we certainly could wait. But also, there's a matter of comfort to be able to go out in the water when it's reasonable to do so, without having to do it with hip waders, which, you know, we may have to do anyway. But the other thing is that even the hip waders, you really almost have to get down and dirty just to get down to the root, to pull it. And they generally come up pretty good, I've found, without too much trouble. But again, you want to make sure you're getting everything out of there.
When you are disposing them, where do you take them to DPW, or where do you?
We have a compost pile that we utilize that's away from the water.
Okay.
And Joanne, you suggested it might be better to wait until the water level was lower to
Well-
have better access to it and.
Yeah. And that opens up a whole nother conversation about the flashboards
Flashboards.
at Bulge Pond Dam, which for the last many, many years have come out in the fall.
Right.
Courtesy of the fire department, this fall they didn't take them out.
And they're reluctant to do it in the
Yes.
future.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's,
So if they don't come out,
yeah.
it's
if
not
they-
gonna drop too much.
Right.
And with all the rain, we're
Right.
and they're
Yeah.
getting it in the
Yeah. I don't know, so this water shield that's growing out here in probably 4 feet of water at that?
At the most.
Um,
That line that's going across there defines our shallow area,
Yep,
which is about waist deep in me, so I'd say that's 3 feet right there.
okay.
So it's
Um,
probably less than 3 feet where the arrow is right now.
I don't know anything about the root system on that particular plant. I think it's probably a rhizome, like all lily pad kind of growing plants.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no matter how low the water gets, it's not gonna get, it's
Right,
not gonna expose that.
exactly. I think those are the kind of plants that if kids start using that part of the swimming area, they'll damage the plants to the point where the plants just naturally disappear. It's that,
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to, you know, do a knee-jerk thing by saying this, but it's, there is a small safety issue as well with having aquatic plants in areas where children are swimming, so that's
Yeah.
another concern as well.
Yep. Any commissioners have questions or concerns?
I have no concerns.
Only
Sure.
question is this something that we can look at when we do the pond treatments? to Help with this sort of thing? Or is that?
Say it one more time.
When we have the pond treatments done, is this something they can
Target?
target in some way?
I guess
Do they-
it'd be more comfortable, honestly, having them pull it as opposed to putting chemicals into
Fair.
the closer swimming area.
Where little kids are gonna swim in.
yeah, and they
Potentially
don't,
swallow.
and they don't,
That's fine.
they don't treat the lily pads until the middle of September.
And it seems like you said the 10-year plan seems to be keeping it in check pretty well, so maybe treatment isn't needed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think like I said, if you took out some of those little pads and then, you know, have the ability to allow people to swim in that area, like I said, probably just naturally
It'll keep
be
them-
kept under control.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it really was, you know, a big factor to not be able to open, to allow that encroachment to come in.
Yeah.
Because they were not that, they were right there before, but not where you can see them now.
Sure, yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Everybody okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have an issue with it.
Well,
Yeah, they-
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We wanna take-
Anybody want to come?
Well,
Let us
You know
know
what?
when you're gonna do it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you transplant these things?
I don't know.
Where do you want to transplant them?
Maryland-
You're talking about the cattails, you mean?
The cattails. The muskrats have just devastated the cattails, and Marilyn's going off out of her mind. I hope she's not watching this, but she's, she would, I don't, is it possible to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean,
You know, cattails do have, the thing that muskrats are looking for with cattails is that fleshy tuber.
right,
Um,
that's the good part.
It's the very good part if you're a muskrat.
I suppose if when they schedule they're gonna pull them, as opposed to composting them, and you could simply take them and do an experiment if you wanted to, and if they die, they die. If
We'd be
they were
happy
gonna
to
die
put them
anyways.
aside with care.
Give us a truckload full.
They're all yours. Less for us to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, it kinda only looked like maybe.
Like
Yeah.
I said, there's, you know, it's just this little batch right here on the
Yeah.
inside of the ropes.
How will we know when you're gonna do it?
I will let Joanne know, and she
That'd
can
be
pass
great.
that on to you.
That'll make her very, very happy.
Not just anybody comes bearing a gift of cattail timbers.
Muskrats
All right.
especially.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jeff, for coming.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just have one little question. Has Parks been thinking more about creating a canoe kayak access?
Since we last spoke, we really haven't explored any further. Our waterfront director did bring up an idea that we could also consider doing it on the other side, which I thought was interesting. And my only concern with that is the possible encroachment on the volleyball court. So I was going to ask one of you what your thoughts of how wide this would need to be.
Gosh, not very. I mean, how long, how wide?
If you carry a canoe on
Between
the
two-
side,
Right,
you're gonna be 5 feet,
4 feet?
4 feet, I guess, if you don't mind.
4 feet's a sidewalk, I'm thinking 5-ish or 6, just to be on the safe side.
Well,
Probably not much more than that.
An ADA sidewalk is 5.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that would be a
yeah.
thing then.
Yeah, if one of you wants to meet me down there at some point to take a look at that, just to get your thought on doing that, there would be a number of benefits to doing it on that side, because that also builds in a parking lot.
Yes.
So that's the whole issue that we've had with it, is taking away from the swimming parking
Yeah.
Mm.
to do that which is already limited as
Mm.
is.
Right,
So that would be, that would solve that.
yeah.
So, as opposed to people parking in that upper lot, which is the public lot, and then coming down, that's kind of a long way to go, but if you could park there and just go, that
Right.
would be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but it wouldn't be that much. The only downside I could see is if it would, and we got a volleyball group, I want their opinion, because it's kind of kitty corner the way the landscape timbers are set up to create the volleyball court.
Mhm.
And it's, at one corner comes within about 4 or 5 feet of our fence with our neighbor.
Property limits.
So, and we can't remove that fence, but if we could move those timbers in, say, 2 or 3 feet, then that would make that a possibility. So, but I was just
That might be a
curious
safety
if it
issue,
was,
too.
yeah, that's true, because, yeah, I was thinking that too.
Volleyball diving and all, or whatever.
Right. So, it's something worth looking at.
Hmm.
We found this snazzy new way to look at air from above, so we're gonna see if we can zoom in enough.
See what you,
Jen's
Jess,
trying to
see what you
control
got?
time.
Yeah, how we doing?
We have a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Probably will.
Yeah, so that's basically to the right of that, that's a basketball court that you have your hand on there.
Yeah.
And coming down that side, there's, that tree line there is fenced in. So that would, and the lot you can see behind it. So in theory, you could park in that lot and then go down, it's just a slight grade, down to the water in an area that is farther away from the rope lines that we have, because the rope
Yeah.
lines are right up to
They
the
are.
border.
Yeah.
Not that we couldn't move our swim area a little bit, but still, it would just be a much more natural thing to work out. So it's just something to think about. But you almost, the picture does give you an illustration, but not as much as actually going there to see it. So I think you'd really need to see it to take the next step with it.
Let's see if we can get this to
There you go, there's a leafless.
leafless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So is there a fence along This,
There's a fence along there, yes.
So their
Yes.
yard is-
So there's a natural, which is good, actually.
Yeah, it
And
is.
then the proposal was a second fence to create a corridor.
right,
And then you wouldn't have to be concerned about, because we have the beach secured during swim hours
Yeah.
for resident, non-resident.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that just has a more natural appeal to it.
Yep.
But that sandy area you can see is that block, that's the volleyball court.
yeah,
And the bottom rear right corner, right where the hand is,
Yeah.
that's the closest point to the fence, which is probably 4 or 5 feet. So
Okay.
it's possible. I think it's worth looking at. As
Yeah.
Mark mentioned, that might be a safety issue with people going back and running into the fence. I don't know. It's hard to say on that. I mean, by saying that the border next to the basketball court also has a concrete wall. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Play at your own risk.
All right, well, if you all plan a field trip,
yeah.
I'd like to know about it.
all right.
Yeah,
Field trips are
Fun
fun.
around.
we like field trips.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you for your time, and I'll let you know how we're doing with that.
Thank
Good.
It probably won't be for a few weeks at this point, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care. Okay. Then our next item this evening is a discussion about the waterways sign project work plan. So we had at our 10 locations and maybe threw a monkey wrench in the works with adding.
Well, so I started making this little map for us of the locations that Mark sifted together for us from everybody's thoughts. And we hadn't considered Shaker Mill Pond or, either end of it. And then I got thinking, that runs the other way. That doesn't run into the Nashua River. So there's a watershed
Border.
moment here,
Watershed.
which would be kind of neat to talk about with our little QR code linking. And if we were to put a sign near the new beaver dam, say, right near the new subdivision, I suspect there are going to be a lot of people walking, just walking for exercise out of that subdivision.
Something to say, this is the beginnings of the such and such watershed,
Yeah,
kind of like a US to Canada border, like here
Right.
you run this watershed, here you
that's
run that
right.
watershed.
1 foot here, 1 foot there.
It is pretty significant down in the town.
Well, it's kind of neat that we've got that little corner that goes
Yeah.
the other way. So I have I put the sign near Littleton Road. If we wanted to, because you can see Shaker Mill Pond from the road. If we wanted to mark it that way, we could do it, or we could put it over here on Shaker Road near the beaver dam, which I think would be a great place for it, actually.
And that gives us, we still have 10.
I think that's still 10. Yeah. So, there is a little Hunter parking lot up here off McPherson. So I put one up there. I still like the idea of one on McPherson because the river's right next to the road there. It's kind of neat.
And people
So
bike
on the
down
lower
there.
Nashua sign there, I thought that's where the Hunter thing was, I didn't know.
No, it's up here.
Okay.
If you drive up
Okay.
past the well, you get to this funny little triangular interchange, and if you take the left,
Okay.
it goes into a little brick building of some sort. And there's a little Hunter parking area there.
Okay. if Shaker Mill makes us 10, you must have taken one away. So what did you take away?
You know what I took away? I took away James Brook, because there's
Okay.
already a sign on James Brook,
There is.
on the Groton side. Right, so
Yeah, well,
Why?
yeah, I've seen it in both directions. There's actually one on either side.
it's a two-sided sign.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I like Shaker Mill on the, like you said, on this side.
Yep.
Where the new development's going, because again, 2A is just too busy.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah,
don't want to create that distraction and have people, what was that?
yeah. Yeah, right,
And that's what always concerned me about the 2A one for Nashua River too.
Yeah.
By the temple.
yeah.
All right, looks good.
We're about a minute left.
And I did ask my daughter, and she's a little busy, so she.
Okay, well, that was the question. All right, so I will contact our
Graphic
Kim,
designer.
and see
And
what.
he's-
Thought she was coming in. Wasn't she coming in?
No, we need to, she doesn't know anything about this yet.
Oh.
All right, so I think the next thing is to make a field trip with a bucket of steaks
Right.
to these locations
And then confirm
and then talk to Dan.
property ownership and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So. Or like, yeah, highway.
Yep.
As of right.
All right, well, this feels like progress. Cool.
Progress.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great, thanks very much. And our next item this evening is a discussion about managing conservation office workload update, which at this point in time is to be continued. We had a meeting 2 weeks ago tomorrow with Robert and Joanne, Jess and myself. It's a good meeting. We had a nice long chat. Still some things to iron out, and I put a request for a third meeting, and I haven't heard back yet. But I'm sure I will.
Mhm.
And at that point in time, hopefully we can get most of it hammered out.
And did you
Yeah,
ask about the August select board meeting?
Yep,
Okay.
I did.
Do we know the date of that meeting?
The select board?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's like around the 17th.
I can look at it.
Did they
It's not
agree
important.
to have us come there, or?
Yeah.
Not yet. We need to ask to get put on the agenda.
Okay. Do we have to ask for anybody's permission per se, or is it like select board's permission, or is it Robert's permission, or do we
Oh,
know
Robert
that?
just puts it on, but he said anybody can, any board should be able to ask to be before the select board.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things with Joanne's position being taken out of the union, you'll have to update the job description, and then the select board has to, did you say the select board has to approve that?
I thought he said that.
Yeah.
Probably.
So that would be, to me, that would be the primary use of getting on their August agenda, at which point then we can start the discussion about how conservation, along with a few other departments, are severely stressed, and there does need to be, as Robert has said, some thought to restructuring a number of areas in town hall,
Yep.
so that it's not destroying people's lives who work here.
And or volunteer.
Yeah.
And volunteers.
Yeah, this is, this really, I've been saying this for a long time, but I really am just at the end of my thread here. Even it was a quiet week because of this crazy agenda. We never have a chance just to talk about all the things. And yet we've got the specter of all these notices of intent
On the horizon.
on the horizon, and they're headed our way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, more to come.
More to come. I'm sure I'll hear from Robert soon and figure out a time.
And I'm just assuming everybody would want to be at the select board meeting. Because then we'd have to co-post it.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Wow, yep.
Yep.
United Front and all that.
It's always good.
Well, it's nice to take our show on the road, because even though we are really stressed, we get our work done, and it would be nice for the select board to see us,
Right.
because,
Take a list of things that have happened already this year and
Yeah.
compare it to other years.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
let them know that we don't want to give up, but we need help.
right.
Yeah.
We really didn't slow down during the pandemic.
No, we just sped up
Yeah.
during meetings
Yeah.
and then dumped it all on Joanne's
Yeah.
desk.
You know what I did today as a mental health activity? I got the whiteboard erasing, and I all of those agendas that I've been keeping on the whiteboard, I said, this is all in the past. So let's just wipe them all off. So we've got like two meetings worth of agendas on the board right now.
Yeah, it was a cleansing.
It was very cleansing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. Anything else on that topic before we press on? Alrighty. Next item this evening is a public hearing, notice of intent, continued at 43A Groton Harbor Road, Ayer DPW stormwater outfall improvement on property owned by Edward Ouellette, DEP, file number 100-0459. And I believe we have just been asked to open and to close.
Open and continue.
And, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Dan was out last week, so he's behind, but will be with us on the 22nd.
22nd, okay. Anybody have comments on that before we continue?
Do you know if he's made any progress on the options that we talked about, or did he mention it?
He was out sick, so probably not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Oh, he sounded terrible, the poor guy,
Was
just.
that from his softball team?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So continue to just,
22nd.
To the
22nd,
22nd,
thank you.
yeah.
So we need a
So-
motion,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Is there a motion to continue the public hearing, notice of intent at number 43A Groton Harbor Road, DEP file number 100-0459 until July 22nd?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay, and next item this evening is a discussion on the draft conservation restriction at 0 Washington Street, Air Solar 2B, DEP file number 100-0444. Any updates?
No updates. I did send you the latest draft of that CR, and I'm hoping this coming week, since this agenda is not going to produce stuff to do, that I can actually circle back and catch up on some of these things, like this CR and the next one. But interestingly, we've had no communication from, yeah,
Recently.
right.
What was it you asked him for? Starting the baseline?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard a peep. So I'm looking forward to doing some work on this and moving this one forward. I think this one is gonna be delayed because we don't have baseline documentation, so we don't know what the conservation values are.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to get that done sooner or later. Yeah.
Sooner would be better.
Yes, sooner would be better. So that's where we are with that one.
Okay.
Is that CR, did it use any other ones as a template already? So was it with minor modifications, or was it basically produced from scratch? Do you know that?
Well, the, Rohit's attorney, I think, is in Michigan, so he's using the template from the Massachusetts CR office as a starting point. But within that template, there are places that you have to add a lot of information, like the conservation values.
Okay.
And any other CRs that we've done together as a group, we've had the conservation analysis to use as baseline documentation and to outline those conservation values.
Okay.
And they have to be specific to that property. So you can't just say, well, the trees are nice and the wetlands are good, and it's gotta be pretty specific.
Right, okay. I remember like the, some of the other ones we've looked through that have described, the owner wants to be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Oh, well, and that's
You know,
another,
that kind of
right,
stuff.
that's another part where,
Right.
so there's the conservation value part that has to be specific to the property.
Right.
Then there are reserved rights and.
Reserve rights, yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I was just wondering, did they like go ahead and grab the stuff from, any of the other ones we've done here in the last few years and said, okay, let's just use this and, read through it, but then change as we need to change. And I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. If they just use up the mass site, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And they just, actually, I found out that the CR office changed their template. And so Alex Para wrote to John Joya and said, oh no, do we have to start all over again because you've changed your template? And John Joya said, no, you're underway, so you keep using the template that you're using. So, but now we're gonna have a new template to learn for our next one. Yeah, so that's all I've got on that one.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have any comments? All right, next item this evening is a discussion on draft conservation restriction at 0 Washington Street, Panther Place. Is there no DEP file number on that guy yet?
We haven't done that one yet.
No,
That
they
one's
haven't.
just gone through planning board.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
haven't filed.
Yeah.
And I was telling Mark, the planner, that the other day, he said, what, they haven't filed with conservation yet?
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, no, it's I don't, usually it's a parallel kind of process, but I guess they're doing it in series instead.
Hmm.
Um,
So, same
Same,
scenario?
yep,
Okay.
yep. Though I think we're a little closer on this one because we have the conservation analysis and we have some baseline documentation, so we can fill in the conservation values, and I don't think the reserved rights are not complicated at all.
Yeah.
So it really is just a matter of being able to sit down and do it.
Right.
The Solar 2 one doesn't have, because they did do the Oxbow thing when they did the notice of intent, the Oxbow review, wouldn't that have some information that could be used in the conservation? I mean, I know eventually we need from Rohit enough to establish baseline for monitoring in the future, but.
Well, and we need the conservation values from that baseline documentation. So Oxbow just did the delineation though for solar too, right?
No, that was a different company. Oxbow did like the, was it Habitat?
Did they do it with the first filing? Before,
Yeah, but
before
they
it changed?
updated it, I think, with the second one.
Yeah, I think that was just in the area of the roadway though. It wasn't this other 34 acres.
Okay, that's actually a good point.
Yeah. I'm just so excited that the Air Solar 2B CR and the Panther Place CR touch.
Oh, I know.
I just,
Yeah. Makes it twice as good.
well, yeah, and it really is the only way to get into the only part of the Air Solar 2B CR that's actually dry enough to walk on. Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, that worked out great.
Yep.
Anything else on that?
Would it be in the big thick NOI?
Hmm?
Would it be in the NOI? Yeah. Expo, BWB and bank habitat evaluation.
Yeah, that would be the thing. But it really is just in the area of the roadway. And the culvert. Yeah.
Or they just focused there.
Yeah. Wetland and bank habitat evaluation.
Right, and I betcha it really is just in the area of the roadway.
Talks about the site at large.
It was the intermittent stream and the old stone culvert, and then our stream crossing, they were saying has no habitat value, no overwintering value, no breeding habitat value.
Yeah, the wildlife habitat evaluation demonstrates that the proposed BBW alterations will have negligible effect on important wildlife habitat functions, especially when considering the value of the compensatory wetland creation as they mature. Although the proposed road will function as a barrier to wildlife movement, the stream channel itself does not appear to provide any migratory corridor between two otherwise disconnected habitat features. The proposed culverts with natural material bed material will provide passageway for some invertebrates and small invertebrates.
Yeah, so that really was focused right in on that.
So, maybe you want to add some clarification for Repeat that while we have the Oxbow thing, it focused on those areas, but what we need for the CR is focusing on the other areas.
Right.
He might not understand that.
So focused on the roadway. We need a 34-acre version, which he may just hire Oxbow to do.
Yeah.
All right, well, it'd be very good to move both of these along.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Next item this evening is a discussion on beaver management plan. And Jess, you found some municipal beaver management plan for the town of Ayer from 2013.
When we were over there last week on the, was it the 29th? George and I were nudging our old memories.
Is it getting harder?
Yeah, it is. I thought, okay, go back and look in the minutes, what we had discussed, and then I found all sorts of things
Yes.
that I forgot that we had, that the DPW had done, actually, some of it. And And actually, did you all read the part on the minutes excerpts from there?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so that,
Yes.
so Mark Wetzel had Mike Callahan begin drafting a municipal beaver management plan, so we have that
Yep.
to work with.
Yeah, I started reading through that.
And then when he assessed the Shaker Road one,
There's a lot of talk about a culvert at Shaker Road.
there may have been one
Yeah.
there. There is no longer one there.
Yeah, there was, till the DPW came along.
Oh, imagine that.
Cleaned it out.
Was it, was it,
Yeah,
was it a full one at the time, or,
yeah.
yeah?
And you know, the thing is, as we've learned, DPW can continue to clean out blockage in a culvert without even really,
But if they remove the culvert,
right, then they're left with an actual beaver dam
yeah.
that they're not really supposed to touch without a permit.
Um, Yeah, so then it had been left that Rosewood Avenue was being considered by the DPW for a beaver deceiver back then. This is before we just had the issues, because there was some mixture of ownership or interest in that area, the DPW manhole covers.
Right.
And then also at the Shaker Road culvert. So we were, as of October 2013, waiting to hear back what the DPW was going to do on Shaker Road. Am I reading that right? And we were going to handle the one at Rock Meadow Pond and Long Pond, which we did
Yep.
follow through on.
Mhm.
But the Shaker Road and the Rosewood ones were in the DPW's hands, and those never came through. So, but in response to the Littleton resident, what's his name? Leon Weaver.
Leon Weaver, yeah.
It would be good to redirect his efforts toward us rather than DPW, and consider whether we want to do a beaver deceiver there now, and that would be a solution long-term.
Yeah.
And when Mike Callahan puts it in, he would be legally under a emergency cert from us and the Board of Health. He would be clearing it out enough to put in the deceiver, which would then have water passing through.
Yep.
So I suppose we should decide if we want to contact Mr. Callahan and start that process.
I still would like to talk about why should we pay for it? We don't appear to have an issue.
Will it turn into one?
I don't know, let's discuss it, I'm not sure if it will.
I don't know either.
Well, I kind of think the beavers keep building up to the level of the road, the paved road, and the unimproved right-of-way on the other side, that the water could get high enough to undermine Shaker Road. But as I was saying to Jess earlier today, I worry about these things, especially when there's a tropical storm coming.
Yep.
And yet, I personally don't have the wherewithal to assess that kind of risk. And I'm not sure we as a commission do either. And yet, it's been handed to us. But I just look at the way the Bennett's Brook comes down parallel to Shaker Road, it comes through that little cut. There's steep banks on either side. That dam is probably 4 or 5 feet high, maybe? It's hard to say looking down on it. And I think they could keep going.
And then you'd have problems on that entry area to the new subdivision there.
Yes.
So I would say it would make sense to do one there. If, Mr. Weaver also talked about the outlet of Shaker Mill Pond, and that's not on town property.
No, that's Dan
And that's not
Aho's.
an issue for the subdivision, so.
And yet, I think the Beaver Solutions estimate that you found
Yeah,
was for,
was for both at the time.
well, I think it was for spillway exclusion fence. So I'm not sure if he's talking about the spillway of the stone dam. I'm not really sure what he's talking about here.
Yeah, when I read through that, I got the impression that he was talking about the dam end.
The stone dam end,
Where
the
the- yeah.
downstream end, yeah.
When we were doing the sidewalk or the spot,
Yeah.
Yeah, because they definitely talked about, I mean, he had the word dam in there, because that's what I was trying to, I'm saying, are you talking at this end, or are you at this end? And
Right.
I assumed, with having the dam in there, he definitely meant that, was it east end of the pond, I guess.
Right, and so in 2013, he would have been talking about the culvert at the other end of the pond,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
there was a culvert.
Although, on the thing, it's the quantity is for two leveling devices. And then a spillway exclusion fence might be separate, but that almost looks like he was talking about one beaver deceiver at the beginning of the pond and then one at the end of it. But I think at the moment, we should just be looking at the beginning of the pond.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, I don't think the dam is really an issue anymore from when we
Well,
were there, and no one's said anything recently, right?
There is a beaver dam on top of the stone dam.
And that's, you're talking about the outlet.
Yes, at the
Okay.
outlet, yep.
Is that recent? Because I don't remember that one we went there. I remember walking,
Oh,
we
there's-
walked across it, didn't we?
Well, we walked across the middle of it, but we didn't walk across the actual,
Oh, that's right, there was
Top-
a little
that little-
walkway.
yeah.
Okay.
So in Mike's beaver management plan, he talks about the Shaker Road culvert, and then he talks about the Shaker Mill Pond spillway.
Okay.
Once the culvert is replaced, it should be protected with a culvert protective fence and flow device.
Yeah.
And then the spillway can be protected with the same kind of fence and pipe flow device, with a
Okay.
custom fence design. So in 2013, he was talking, you're right, Jess, he was talking about doing stuff at both
Both
ends of
ends.
Shaker Pond.
And obviously, we wouldn't need an exclusion fence at the beginning for the culvert, since there is no longer a culvert. So this would be just a straightforward. So I would say we should contact him about
Yeah.
coming up and giving us another
Yep.
Right.
estimate.
Was Mr. Weaver taken out of
You can,
the equation, and still knowing what we know now, still needs to be done.
Yes. Yep.
is there a date on that invoice that says, it's, or that estimate that says, good for 90 days?
I think 8 years, I think 8 years probably does it.
You always just want to send it
8
to
years
them,
and-
say,
8
hey,
years
yeah,
and 1
I think
month.
we want to act on a couple of these items, you okay with that?
You can
Yeah.
laugh at it anyway.
But since we have multiple deceivers with him now, it's
I know, we get the good commission discount, we
And
get
the
the
maintenance.
multi-deceiver discount, we get all kinds, yeah. So I can call Mike and ask for an estimate
and just jog his memory for just the beginning of Shaker Mill Pond, where there used to be a culvert,
yes.
but is no longer.
Well, now we're on do we have any time?
Yes.
I
She
suppose.
Just
said.
grudgingly giving us time. Are there any other areas in town that are a concern, given the amount of rain that's coming in, besides Catania and?
We'll soon find out.
Yes, we will.
Tomorrow afternoon, you wanna go walking around. If you can do it, you might want to
You
do your
know-
kayak or canoe.
Yeah.
And then in our next meeting, Dan's gonna be here.
Yeah.
So he had talked about helping you construct a map for
Right.
them. And we have the draft map. So maybe he can look at this and,
Just add to it.
Yeah.
That would be really, that would be great. And we know that MRPC made this map,
mhm.
and we get a certain amount of mapping from MRPC every year. So if we can have Dan give us any more locations, we can have MRPC update this map, and we have a map.
There you go.
He seemed to say that like his guys know where they all are, so
Right.
it makes sense for them to.
Right, so we need them to like dish and.
Yeah.
I guess I'm happy that I anticipated possibly there being a lot more than this, so it's actually,
I know.
it's a manageable amount, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's good.
But we don't know what the Beavers have been doing the last 8 years,
Fair.
you know,
Right.
because,
Well, based on what I read from what, was it Mike today?
Like,
In his plan, it
Yep.
talked about their cycle. They
Yeah.
could have removed everything by now and moved on. Maybe they went
Or,
over to
you know,
Littleton.
they could
Right.
just be overpopulating and creating all sorts of additional.
Right, and then there's a virus that'll run through their population and bring it down to sustainable levels and maybe.
We have time for stuff.
not if you're gonna question.
Oh, not a question, just what he
Okay.
mentioned, viruses. I
Mm.
saw something in Connecticut is putting out a warning to have people close down their bird feeders.
Yeah, I heard that
And
too.
hummingbird feeders
Yeah.
because of a potential neurological disease that's killing especially younger birds.
Hummingbirds,
Yeah.
killing hummingbirds?
And hummingbirds, they're suggesting. Seems to be in Connecticut, it's been further down in Mid-Atlantic states and stuff, but it seems
You
to
know
be
where Lyme
spreading.
disease started too?
Yes,
Yeah.
in Lyme, Connecticut.
Yeah.
I think it's just a danger to other birds, because I had heard that there was something where if you have bird feeders, like wash your hands and all that, because there was something.
Yeah, no,
that
this
people were
is,
doing.
this is killing birds, songbirds. So it's better to take away the free food for now and protect them
Well, I
and break the
I am
cycle.
so good about keeping my hummingbird feeder clean because that black moldy stuff
Yeah.
can't be good for
No.
But I
anything.
think this is more to cut, you know, like pandemic, you know, social distancing for birds,
Yeah.
not create a place where they
All
all come and,
Fight.
or leave their little journeys.
Yes.
Thank you for
So-
sharing.
Well, see,
That was
yes.
pertinent.
That was worth the extra time.
Thank you.
It's precious seconds.
Yeah, I'll try and find an article, because maybe that's something we could post on our website and post a Facebook.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be
Yeah,
important.
a good
Yeah.
Facebook post.
Do any of you know when Dan started with the town as town engineer?
It's like 3 or 4 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
So he probably was not aware
Oh,
of
he
all
wasn't here
this.
then.
Yeah,
There's no question.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I did send all this to him, I might have said that already, and he
Mhm.
said he would be prepared to discuss when he comes on the 22nd.
Is it unusual for a beaver to weigh 70 pounds?
For what?
A beaver to weigh 70 pounds?
There-
It seemed to be, that'd be massive.
They said they got one, they found a beaver that weighed 70 pounds.
I bet you a big beaver's tail could weigh 25 pounds, just the tail.
The American beaver weighs 24 to 71 pounds, and the Eurasian beaver weighs 24 to 66 pounds.
So
Ah.
a 70-pound beaver, you don't see those very often then, basically.
Yeah, that's an old,
Jim.
You're welcome.
he's an old.
Fun fact.
I can answer that.
It's the American diet.
Yes.
Yes,
The Americans
that's
are
it,
larger.
that's it. No soy for these beavers.
Too much TV.
They are saying that a 70-pound beaver is large by any standard.
Yeah.
I would say so, yes.
Must be a lot of good woody vegetation.
If only they would eat buckthorn.
Better.
Is there anything else on this issue?
So I'm gonna call Mike Callahan. Do you guys wanna vote to authorize me to sign an emergency certification? Just in the odd event that he can get here
Yeah.
before we meet again?
I thought you were gonna say tomorrow.
Isn't it kind
Okay.
I'm hanging. I was like, tomorrow? Really? This would be cool. Torrential
Just-
downpours, he's out there putting this thing in. Wow, okay.
Just imagine how many phone calls he's gotten today.
Oh,
The poor
jeez.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know if he was doing them up in this area, you know. Just like all the different pesticide company salesmen have been coming up to my house saying, doing work up at your neighbor's, we have an opening. It's like, yeah, I've been hearing that one a lot. But he might, Mike
Yeah, that's
Callahan
right.
might,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
so. And the one we just did at Ananaquacious Brook was like 1,300 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect that this would be any sort of cost that would be a problem.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, and while I haven't seen our newest budget report, we've turned the year, and we should have a beaver deceiver line
And
item.
management and annual maintenance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yep.
so
So, is there a motion to authorize Joanne Christoph to issue an emergency, what, certification? What is emergency what?
Yep.
yeah.
Certification
Mhm.
at
Shaker Road. Shaker Mill Pond
Shaker Mill Pond.
/ Shaker Road.
Yes, we have to be specific about the end of it, right? Which end we're doing?
Inlet,
The western end.
Western end.
At the Snake Hill Road, right away.
Snake
Yes.
Hill Road right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Forgot about that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Do I need to keep saying the motion was made by, seconded by,
I don't think so.
yeah. I'm slowly getting rid of this. Great.
Well, Jess, this was an amazing
Fine.
sleuthing.
Honestly.
Well, first I had to find out when it happened, when we did the site walk with Mike Callahan. And I did find that, and then it was like, go back, look at minutes, and then I went into my town email account and went back to that time period, and it's like, oh.
So I gotta ask you though, so if you went back to your town email account,
Yeah,
2013,
yeah.
how big is your email account that you would have that?
Yeah, mine only lasts like a week.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah,
gotta
storage.
get rid of my stuff.
We'll have to clear mine out, but yeah,
I mean, Joanne sends like 2 or 3 NOIs or something, and they're like, 20 megabytes a piece or something. Before you know it, I've got 5 of those. I'm overloaded.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
told
so
that
that
I
would
get
be-
kicked out.
Well, just write to Cindy and she'll give you more space.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
didn't know that was an option.
Isn't she watching Cindy? Can we have more space?
Yeah.
Can I have more than 512 megabytes? I think we're limited to.
Oh, man, she's away
What,
this
do you got like a terabyte or something going, or
I
what?
have no idea. I do know it says 83%, so I have to go through and clean out.
She's got the Gugino plan. You just need to ask for the Gugino plan.
George, what about yours? Because we both, because we've
He's
both
got the
been on.
Gugino plan too.
No, he's probably got the bacon plan.
Yeah, and I've never gone back and looked to see what's back there, but
He's probably got 6
I've never
degrees.
cleaned it out.
Oh, so his is probably bigger than mine because he's never cleaned it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
See,
I
like,
tried.
every month I have to go through and delete. That's why when you say, did you look at this? I'm like, didn't. It's gone now, so I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tried to clean mine out a while ago, and I just succeeded in just eliminating everything. It was blank.
Ooh.
So I called up Cindy and I go, I think I did something wrong. And she put it all back and gave me a lot more storage, so.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, question is, do you ask for the Gugino plan or the bacon plan? I have to clean mine out periodically. He never
Clearly.
does.
Okay.
You think of it as bringing home the bacon.
Man, all the bacon.
Love to use that one.
Make sure that makes it to our meeting minutes, please.
Home the bacon.
So,
Storage.
anything else with that? We never did talk about the flashboards. Is that an item for a different meeting?
Well, we're gonna have to get that squared away.
I think that's with the,
Sometime.
I think that's with the assistance of the town manager.
But is that a DPW thing, or is that?
The fire department used to do it, Chief Pedrazi, and then,
But why though?
Yeah, why was the fire department? Just because if
Why,
there was an
George? You
issue,
were
they
here before me.
could save themselves kind of thing?
yeah.
Like, why wouldn't it have been, I would have thought the DPW myself, but why was the fire guy?
Because I think the fire department has a tri-hydrant there that they use to, in emergency, to draw off water. So
Okay.
it's good, it's out of, under their control.
Oh,
Okay.
well, that kind of makes sense.
Well, maybe we roll that into the beaver management plan and identify who's to take care of that.
Yeah, because it needs to be done.
At one point, there was talk about rebuilding that whole thing, putting in some better system.
I mean, rebuilding the whole dam,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and that got
Is that in your
into who
email
owns
file?
the dam, who's
Yeah.
what
I
belongs
have
to the dam.
5,677 messages in my inbox.
Your inbox.
How much?
5,677.
Wow.
What is it? Did you get the little thing at the
I have
top? Does it
26
say how many
and I'm
megabytes you
10%
got?
full.
No,
What percentage are you full?
it doesn't say.
It doesn't
Because we
say.
don't have unlimited. We're just like unlimited emails.
Goes sideways, well, maybe it expands the top row.
We do need to move on though. It's exciting, Ms. George's emails.
Yeah. Well, Jess is trying to find out how many she has
Yeah,
now.
you just have to hold on for that.
We did.
No biggie.
We're so close to walking out.
To walking out of here, what?
At 8:45.
So is Joanne's.
Oh, I thought it was 8:30. Oh,
I couldn't, I couldn't do it to 8:30.
all right. Okay, now point source, how's the mailing? Are they out?
It's ready to go.
It's here, it's in the
Tonight.
box.
Are they stamped?
No, they're sealed and stuffed and everything else. It just needs stamps and go across the street.
And we have a mail machine for the stamp part.
So, just so you know, I'm 83% full and I have 2,757 messages. So clearly somebody's getting special treatment.
Do you have a size at the top? Because mine says like 60% of
I
512
can't see it on
megabytes.
here though.
Okay.
Yeah, the bacon plan is clearly
Yeah.
what you want to ask for.
Sounds like.
The gold plan and the silver. You've come up, so, because you asked for your bronze, but obviously you guys are in the
Iron.
gallery.
Like pewter or something.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we go back to the Stone Age.
We're just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be nominated.
We're working on wood tablets.
Yes.
Get out the slate.
Yeah.
So this first, getting back to business if you
Yeah, sure.
don't mind.
Picky, picky.
The first mailing was like phase one
Yep.
Of the brochure.
of brochures. And
So we were talking today a little bit about having a phase two of, since we've got the updated address list and more shorefront people. You know, the other side of Flanagan's, Sandy Pond, all the way around, maybe.
Yep.
If you print them, I will open some.
Okay.
I insist on being part of that.
You're just mad saying that because you know I didn't send you one.
You didn't?
No. I was like, I am not sending one to John.
I'm
But
writing
your-
out that name.
But your lovely wife might be getting one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the more that we can do,
Yeah.
And that's
the
something.
better it looks.
That's something we can pay out of our wetland fund. Don't you think?
I don't think we have to pay for postage.
No, but at least if we had any envelope costs or printing or something, yeah.
Yeah, well, we could. Right now, I'm just printing on a color printer. And we have boxes and boxes of
Yeah.
business envelopes with our logo.
We'll use them up.
Yeah,
That's what they're there for.
yeah.
And so phase one goes off tomorrow or next week?
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, and so when we were talking to Robert, or maybe when I was having my review with him, I said that the strategy for the brochures kind of leading up to the fertilizer bylaw. This is kind of educational information just going out. And then I was talking to Joe at Water and Wetlands about maybe having the town hall style meeting in the early fall at the end of weed treatment season, so he could give everybody a report and we could have it be like an event.
Before town meeting.
Yep, ahead of town meeting.
When do people fertilize their lawns? Is that only a spring thing or is that?
All year round, if you're talking to Scots, right?
But
Four-step process.
Yeah.
There's like a fall thing.
fall is a better time to fertilize with, particularly with organic, because it enters the soil and makes its home in the soil. Because it's
Building
So it
soil.
doesn't leave and
yeah,
go.
Yeah.
it's having, conversations with the microorganisms that together they work to change it to, it's a slow process. And so the optimal time for organic is in the fall, so that overwinters.
Because it might be nice to time it too, so we catch people before they
Yeah.
do too much. But if they're doing it year round, like Mark does, apparently.
But the other thing is,
No velvet here.
the other thing though is when we're doing this bylaw, we have to hold a public hearing, probably in September anyways for that.
Yeah.
So that we have that focus there and then also add on to it.
Yeah, it's a whole strategy.
Yeah.
It's
Fabulous.
yeah. All about building public support for this.
So what's the plan on drafting a bylaw?
Well, you have to talk to the bylaw writers.
What's the plan on?
I have a draft.
Have we moved on to the bylaw conversation?
I think we have, so.
Okay, cool.
Do we have any time left?
Yes, we do. At least 5 minutes.
Well, you gave us 20 minutes out there.
I know we have more.
But we don't need 20 minutes. So I did, Jen had sent me some other material and I went through all that and I took, Brewster had a really good version and Orleans had a simpler one, but, so I took, of course, the one that had more words,
And added more?
added more, and then you can pare down. But one of the things I liked in the Brewster one was they start off with findings. And so I have added that. So my plan is, I just sent this to Jen today, and there's just a few things I wanted to get feedback on. And then Jen is going to work on this draft and hatchet it up and control my verbiage and see what works and doesn't work. And then hopefully at our next meeting, maybe, or the meeting after that, we'll have a general circulation draft.
Yeah, I should be
Yeah.
able to get something out
Yeah.
in enough time before the next meeting for you all to take a look at it.
Yeah.
22nd.
And then, yeah, so then I'm thinking, probably we'd want to do a public hearing in September after people are back from summer vacation. And at the same time we do that, we should be sending it to town council
Hmm.
for their review, so.
I expect that to be well attended.
Fertilizer thing. You know, I'm sure there will be a lot of people who are like, no, but every time I mention it to other people that were working on this, like CPC last night, it's like, yay! So it's gonna be a war between who stacks the meeting
Yeah.
most. So one of the things, we learned a lot,
In your draft, were you able to put in suggested or, suggestions for fertilizer? Because again, I think people will initially see this,
Yeah.
and we talked about this, is that it's a ban, and that's not a ban. All we're
Right.
saying is just use the right stuff.
Yeah, no, I did borrow from somebody to have a section at the end that said that, that the commission's going to assist in maintaining a program of fertilizer and turf management education based on best management practices as outlined by a certain thing. And so I would think for that, we would then have handouts available on the website and physical handouts.
So UMass Extension has a whole turf management
Oh,
division.
It's referred to, that's the BMP definition of best management practices is based on that. So
Yeah, yeah.
this would say, this version, for purposes of this bylaw, BMP means the best management practices for soil and nutrient management and turf systems prepared by UMass Extension Center for Agriculture Turf Program.
Yeah, you can send soil there to be tested.
Yeah, so we would have various things.
Yeah, and they have really, really good resources, so that's great.
And one of the things I did in this one, because like you say, people think ban, so I put up at the beginning a combined applicability, which is one of the things I want to ask about, with exemptions. Because it's like, here's where it applies, but here are the exemptions too. So obviously there are exemptions for agriculture, which Ayer doesn't have much, but
Right.
also exemptions for, vegetable and flower beds. Particularly vegetable beds, where you do need a faster release fertilizer because you have a short-term growing season.
How about starting a new lawn?
Exemption for the establishment of new turf and/or vegetation in the first growing season, for the repair of, now here's an interesting one, this you see, for the repair of existing turf after substantial damage or ground disturbance, or where soil tests performed within 3 years confirm the need for additional phosphorus or nitrogen application. So, and that's not me, that's borrowing heavily from others.
Yeah, great.
But one of the things is the time period. All these towns have in their performance standards, have a time period that they prohibit the application of any fertilizer containing nitrogen or phosphorus. And in the state, it is the state through MDAR, the agricultural, whatever, Department of Agricultural Resources, which has established a statewide standard. Their minimum standard is December 1st to March 15th, no fertilizer application, because you're dealing with usually frozen ground.
Right.
Sure.
It's just
And
gonna,
it just,
yeah.
yeah. But then, so other towns like Mashpee changed theirs to October 30th to April 14th, Orleans October 16th to April 14th, Brewster November 15th to April 15th. So that's one question for us to think about is
When is it frozen here?
Well, or what time period would we want? And we can include,
Is it only the frozen aspect, or is it the major amount of runoff too? That's why I think they
it's
would have
primarily-
extended the back end, where
Well,
some of those went into April.
Okay,
because of
there's
the
a
runoff.
caveat in one version that I added in, which you may or may not cut. But it says, based on early spring or fall weather conditions, soil temperature, and degree of turf emergence from dormancy, or other relevant condition, and using the guidelines of the BMP, the enforcement authority may permit earlier or later application of fertilizer. So it seems to be, I think that's based on, temperatures. If you have a really late, or if you have a really early spring, you might want to have a provision that allows earlier time. But at any rate, that's one thing that we'll have to think about at some point is, here's the state, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And the exemptions, I assume, are approved by us?
the exemptions, the exemptions that,
Approval?
they don't need approval. Yeah.
I haven't seen the bylaw.
But these exemptions are based on the most recent regulations of the plant nutrient application requirements for agricultural land and land not used for agricultural purposes, developed by the Massachusetts Department of Agricultural Resources pursuant to its authority under. So they were given by the acts of 2012. They were given empowerment to set certain standards. So that's in there.
But I don't think that answers the question, though. So I'm asking, so if we're gonna exempt, if it's a bylaw,
Oh,
it's a bylaw that
yeah,
somebody's passing, somebody has to, let's say, enforce.
right.
So if there's gonna be exemptions to the bylaw, they would be approved by us. So the person would have to come to us to get the exemption?
I
To be able
don't-
to say, I'm gonna fertilize because of this XYZ
No,
exemption?
I don't think so. I think
We don't
the
have-
exemptions are sort of, if they're exempt, you don't have to come before somebody. Because we
Right.
don't
Built
want
in.
people to say, oh, I'm gonna use fertilizer in my vegetable bed, I have to go before conservation.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
Okay.
so those are like.
I guess I was thinking
minimal-
about it like,
Yeah,
the exemptions that they have for watering your lawn if you're establishing a lawn, is that, do they have to ask anybody about that? I don't even know.
You have to get permission from.
So that's kind of what I was,
DPW.
thought you had to get
Yeah.
permission for something like that.
I mean, we
so-
can do it, like, that's, you email them and you tell them and they email you back and tell you that's fine.
Okay.
Pretty
Well,
much.
but
There's like a form
DPW, is that for water usage?
For water usage to water
Right.
the lawn.
Yeah,
During the time of a water
right.
restriction.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're only talking about fertilizer use, which would be paired with that, I guess, but. So we could think about if we wanted to say.
Not that I want to create any more work for us, I'm just asking
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
It is. And,
Joanne's gonna feel this, yes, go ahead, yes, go ahead, yes, go ahead, yes, go ahead.
That could be Marilyn's job.
another thing would be, the extent of where we want to put this. I think the MDAR minimum standard is, I think, does ban, technically, I think ban the use, and I'm not absolutely certain about this, but ban the use in buffer zones to resource areas.
Mhm.
So that technically exists, but I think for this kind of bylaw, we want it town-wide. Because we're not talking just about buffer zones, we're also talking about
Well,
aquifer.
Yeah, it all ends up in the same place.
Right.
Didn't we include that in our bylaw about fertilizer use? Didn't we have
We didn't touch it,
to? Okay.
yeah.
Maybe we were, and you said no, because we were kind
Yes,
of doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be
Yeah.
standalone. And the other question I had, I mean, and I'm no expert at all on this, but the, looking at some of the towns, they focused only on nitrogen, but we really want to focus on nitrogen and phosphorus,
Yeah.
but especially phosphorus.
Phosphorus is the middle one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was the main push.
Yeah, and I did include, in the findings area, I made reference to that geosyntax study we did and, which identified some of these problems. And then because that talked about eutrophication, and that seems, I was fascinated to learn about that before, and so I added that into the definition section.
Yeah, yeah.
Comes from the Greek word that means well-nourished, but when you're talking about ponds and lakes, it tends to mean overly nourished. And I didn't get into the weeds, so to speak, of where you talk about eutrophication, natural eutrophication versus cultural eutrophication. Not going there, but basically, yeah. So I think, so we'll see what Jen says, but things to think about is, you know, what we would want for that time period, want the whole town, yes. And, yes.
I hate to even ask the question, but what about enforcement?
Well, that's the question.
Yeah, so this ideally gives us purposes, provides provides a legal mechanism for enforcement. But I'm thinking, and we have to have that in here, but in practical terms, I'm thinking our primary impetus would be education first. And one of the things we would develop apart from this would be handouts on organic fertilizer
Right.
alternatives and stuff.
Viable
Yeah.
alternatives. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think, Mark, you mentioned like partnering with Obashan or local places to highlight fertilizers that are
Air friendly.
And, when you entertain that any commercial enterprise that is doing fertilizing would not be allowed here unless they can prove that their applications are meeting the bylaw.
Yeah, we would have, yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole thing, we're at least to start to give ourselves a structure, and then if it passed, we'd have to work out over time, because it wouldn't be easy to work out the actual details of contacting. One of the things I think this also gives us the opportunity, and I didn't think about it here, but, you know, the issue we've had with, occasionally with hydroseeding companies coming and drawing water from, you know, and that is also a different kind of combination product where it's seed and fertilizer combined. And when they do it carelessly, they're leaving it on the roadway and then the
Yeah.
seed actually blooms. So this would maybe give us maybe we could put in here something that, you know, hydroseeding companies need to get a permit from the Conservation Commission or something, approval. So, something to think about when you edit it.
Good idea.
All right. And then I saw this one diagram, and it was really fascinating because and I put some in here in the definitions, but organic versus synthetic fertilizers, it's like synthetic fertilizers feed the plant. So they're rapid release, go in and go right into the plant, and anything left over goes right into the groundwater or runoff. And organic, so the one catchphrase was that synthetic fertilizers are on the move, whereas organic fertilizers make themselves at home because they go into the soil, then they have to, you know, engage in social camaraderie with microorganisms. So they actually feed the soil as opposed to feeding the plant.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. And it's interesting just, so we can make this both educational and,
Yeah.
In restricted.
Yeah. You know, it'd be nice if you had
This will be a tough one.
some examples of people's
Well-
yards that are beautiful that don't do,
Well,
if there is any. I don't know.
I think you want to redefine what's beautiful.
Well, I mean, you know, people want a
Yeah.
nice looking lawn. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be 100% weed free and
Right.
whatever, but it's, if we had examples of something that looks nice.
But if
You
you,
still have the perfect.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
But if you look at some of the other towns that have one of these, they all do come back to the ultimate issue down the road is how do you enforce it? And I think our initial thing would be education and
Mhm.
voluntary. And but at least if we ever got to a point where we could enforce and needed to, we have the mechanism there if we ever had the manpower or womanpower.
Well, and you know, this might be the one good thing about the PFAS problem in
Mhm.
our groundwater is that people are really now very aware of the quality of our water, and that everything you put on the ground has the potential to come out your faucet.
And I put in here reference to how much we spend on, you know, treating the ponds every year. And it's not just from fertilizer runoff, it's also like phosphorus in the sediment and stuff.
Yep.
But the fertilizer runoff issue, we can do something about. And maybe that could help us reduce the cost. So, and also, there's a Connecticut legislator assistant, he did a whole summary on this. And that you're also reducing the cost of drinking water treatment.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, there are cost savings.
Was there an exemption in there for golf courses too?
A lot of them put that in, so a lot of them put that in, and we don't have any golf courses, and I don't see us ever getting any. But I did leave a phrase in here that refers to golf courses and athletic fields, because then we do have athletic fields for the school, and,
Yeah,
So we
good
can
point.
throw
Same
in-
sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess I thought part of the Shaker Mill was ours. No.
The clubhouse, I think, is in Ayer, but
Yeah.
the golf, all the golf part is in Harvard.
Okay.
And I don't see any, ever having any room to develop a golf course, I mean, in practical terms, but we could put that in.
Well,
I
with
also
that,
took out-
Let me turn in this NOI.
I also took
Never
out,
say never.
I took out a reference to, under agriculture, to shellfishing, because that definitely applied to all the places on the Cape.
Oh, you know what? We just got a postcard in the office banning magnet fishing.
No, yeah.
Yes.
What is magnet fishing?
That's what it sounds like.
Throw in a magnet?
You're not going for fish, you're going for other things on the bottom that are metallic.
Oh,
Valuable.
Like,
So like metal
like-
detecting,
Oh.
but
yeah, like unexploded ordnance and,
so what's the problem with magnet fishing then?
Well, you can attach your magnet to an unexploded hand grenade.
Oh. So, yeah. Yep. I meant to look, I saw that and I meant to look it up and then I forgot. And
Yeah.
In my mind, I was thinking, okay, maybe you're throwing magnets out for the fish to eat.
and then like that little
All
kids
those, all
game.
those fish that stole
Yeah.
your lead, well, it wouldn't be lead, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
your lure, it's like, darn it, I'm gonna get you this way.
Well, we do have plenty of ways we cheat at hunting and stuff, so.
Yeah, that was, did anybody walk through the Mirror Lake there? That was only a few weeks past, was the first time we went and walked around Mirror Lake, and that's where we saw the magnet fishing. We're like, what is this?
Isn't it amazing on the backside of Mirror Lake? Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
get up in the?
Yeah, we went all the way up, and we came up by the water
bog
thing, and
yeah,
yeah,
it's.
it was nice.
We have about 5 minutes left for Joanne's updates.
Yes.
anyone else have anything to say about the bylaw?
No, but-
Thank you for doing this.
Yes, thanks for drafting, and
Yeah, thank you to Josh, she did those.
Bree, thank you
And-
for slicing it down.
And Falmouth has a really nice letter to homeowners that they did with theirs that we could borrow, but, we just found another thing.
Do you have any updates you want to talk
I
about?
have
before-
I have a couple of updates while Jess is
While Jess
looking
is
through
looking.
the file.
Oh, I'm just gonna hand something to Jen. So-
The other big map thing that I printed out for you is the existing conditions for the 40B on Fitchburg Road. So in the lower right-hand corner, you can see the funeral home. It's kind of a benchmark. The middle blue line is the intermittent stream. The outer blue lines are the BBW to that. The green is the 100-foot buffer. So they're planning on doing most of their development outside the 50-foot buffer. Some of it's going into the 100-foot. But the pink colored in hatchings are places they want to do, or probably have actually at this point done, soil borings and test pits, which is an exempt activity under the Wetlands Protection Act. But they did let us know that they were going to be doing that. And even though that activity takes place within our local buffer zone resource area, our local bylaw does not apply to this project. So this was just kind of informational. And the yellow circle is a natural heritage zone around a rare plant. And I thought it was the walking fern, but that's not rare or endangered in Massachusetts, so I'm not sure what it is, but it's in this yellow. There's
Yeah.
something
What is
special.
40B again? Just-
40B is the comprehensive permit for affordable housing.
Okay.
That Jess will be able to tell us way more about, because it goes through ZBA. And skirts is the wrong word to use, but it basically skirts all local bylaws.
So then is that an expansion of this stuff up here at Isaac Lane?
What was that?
Is it like an expansion of the property at Isaac Lane?
No, Isaac Lane
Is it
is,
totally separate? Okay.
yep, is Ayer Housing Authority. This is a nonprofit company from East Boston that's coming in to do this. The name of the company is NOAA. And I've been really impressed with what I've seen of them so far. They show up to meetings with their architect, with their landscape architect, with their engineer, with, they use BSC Group for their engineering. They've been very responsive to requests. This is a friendly 40B, so they're trying to work with the town to get what the town wants, as well as being able to do the project that they want to do. And this is 160 units at build-out of affordable housing, so it will put Ayer over the 10%. You need to have 10% of your housing stock designated as affordable in order to be able to turn away a 40B. So until you reach that 10% threshold, a developer can come in and do an unfriendly 40B, and they can just say, you know what, we don't have to go by your setbacks or your zoning, or we can just do whatever. But they still have to abide by the Wetlands Protection Act. So they will be fine with us.
What is the expectation? Are they like buying this whole Morgan Oil, whatever this is, property, or the Lord is next door? I'm sorry. This is the
Flag
Flag, there
Tree
you go.
Company yard.
Okay.
Yeah, they are buying the whole thing. And the back left hand, this little diagonal piece here butts up against Fish and Wildlife land. And I've already talked to Ann about whether she would be interested in taking or buying or whatever the back soaking wet part of this. And she said, oh yes, absolutely. So 8:45, all right, so 20 Central Ave is the tan-colored office building between Neshoba Club and Neshoba Boards of Health. The tree warden got 2 calls on Saturday that somebody was cutting trees right next to the intermittent stream that runs right next to that building. And the building's owned by...
You mean the drainage ditch?
Hmm?
You mean the drainage ditch?
Right, that one, yeah.
It is an adventure. All right.
Yes, it is.
So the building's owned by an LLC, and I would really like to send the owner of the building hey, we got notified and I went and looked and yes, and you shouldn't. And so I'm trying to track down the actual person who owns the building. Catania had a bit of a blowout this morning, pumping out the
Detention bill?
yeah, so this is what it looked like over there this morning at 8 o'clock. How to even tell you where this is and what the scale of this was.
So I can see the parking lot in the back, so this would be looking west.
This is looking across Westford Road.
Yeah,
This
Westford
is-
Road would be behind that, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So if you pulled into Catania and turned to the right and went all the way down in the back
Yep.
where that pond was, this is what it looks like today. So this elbow here is about 3 feet in diameter. I could barely slide over it this morning. This is the other end of the pipe. It's a bypass pipe that skirts all the way around the pond to take the stormwater from Mulberry Circle. And this is the end of the concrete pipe that runs under the railroad track and then empties into the wetland in the middle of the big oval of the railroad tracks. And I think the rain came so hard and so fast, it just blew the bypass pipe right out of the end of the concrete pipe. And
Yeah, I think the stuff they said was that in the report about something about the silt sock got clogged and so,
Yeah.
so I don't know what they've done to prepare for tomorrow.
well, it was a good thing. I just had a funny feeling I needed to go over there this morning, and wow, I'm so glad I did. And they were scrambling. I think in the report he sent a picture of this all put back together. Those sandbags are about 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet. They're huge.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, really, the scale of this is just, that's a gigantic excavator. And I'm standing way up looking down into this. Yeah, it looked,
This has been a wet July.
Wettest on record
yeah.
Is it?
for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of other office updates in the packet preview.
Yep.
Nothing we need to spend more time talking about.
Any other quick comments from anyone?
Beaver is safe to eat.
Beaver is safe to eat. The tail is delicious.
All right.
Really?
That's what I understand.
5.9 earthquake in California.
Where?
Wide area.
So is the drought over?
Is the drought over?
Yes, the drought was over in March.
No?
Yeah,
Done.
here.
Anything else?
A couple doors up, my neighbor caught bobcat on their camera.
No, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Little short tail.
Yeah.
We were sailing on Bear Hill Pond on Sunday and a bald eagle flew right, like, our mast is maybe 20 feet tall, flew right at the top of the mast. And then we saw it fly into its nest.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Well, I won't be here next
meeting.
Right?
Mark is gonna chair,
It's gonna whip us into shape.
whip you into shape. I certainly hope
So we
so.
might need 2.5 hours.
And we can have it.
Motion to adjourn?
So,
Second.
All in favor?
uh,
Aye.
Opposed?